Hey boss, welcome to the Blogger Breakthrough Podcast. I'm your host, Liz Stapleton from elizabethstapleton.com and founder of the Blogger Breakthrough Summit. Today we're talking about some key elements to making sure your pins on Pinterest are actually doing some heavy lifting to help you get more sales of your digital products. Today you're going to be listening to a snippet of Hanna Johnson's session from the 2020 Blogger Breakthrough Summit. As I'm sure you'll hear, sessions at the summit are all action-packed, not fluff or long-winded sales pitches. If you want to make sure you get notified when registration opens for our next summit in 2021, be sure to join the Blogger Breakthrough Summit newsletter, and the link to that is included in the show notes, or you can go to bloggerbreakthrough.com/newsletter. Now, let's go ahead and dig in.
Let me talk about the 4 pillars to selling success on Pinterest in 2020. The 4 pillars are market research, landing and sales page design, supporting content, and your Pinterest strategy. The reason why I specifically picked these 4 pillars is because these are what I have found in my 5 years of working with blogging and Pinterest to be the most important. Let me dive in. Market research is by far the most important pillar. If you can't get market research down, then you definitely need to reevaluate, because 100% of the time your audience will tell you what they want. Always ask. And if you don't have an audience, you can start with something small like an ebook to build up your audience. However, you should always look at what other players in your industry are doing. What have they been successful with? What are they doing that they could be doing better? What are they not doing that they should be doing? Those are all notes that you should be jotting down and paying attention to, because that's what's going to set you apart. Now, if you are somebody, for example, who is wanting to teach somebody how to fly fish, maybe you go on Pinterest, do some keyword research, and figure out what your specific audience is looking for in terms of fly fishing. Do they want to learn everything? Are they only specifically trying to figure out the best ways to cast? I'm not a fly fishing expert. That's just the example that popped into my head. But think about and try and do as much research as you can, because that market research aspect of it will be the key to success for you. If you can create an audience, if you can create a product that your audience is dying for, that they can't live without, that will save them time, that will save them money, and overall will save them from failing, then you have just created your ticket to success. Be precise and smart about your product creation. Do not just create a product that you think your audience will want. That is the biggest mistake that I see so many bloggers and online entrepreneurs make. They just create something that they think their audience will want. You are an expert in sewing and you think that your audience wants to know everything about sewing, when in reality they only want to learn one thing. Start there first. Okay, landing page design. You can create an amazing product all day long, but if your landing page or your sales page does not speak to your audience, then you're not going to make any sales. And the reason why I didn't have a pillar in the 4 pillars to selling success on copywriting is because, yes, copywriting is super important if you are selling a very high ticket item. However, if you're starting small with video trainings and templates and courses or ebooks, it's not as important if you have the other things in place. So my number 1 tip, going back to the one that I already gave you, is always offer something free. The first chapter, a virtual tour, the first module, something to get your audience to trust and understand that you know what you're talking about. No matter what the price is, it's an investment to them. So you want to show them exactly what you are going to give them. Stopping really quickly right here just to do a side note. When I created my first digital product, it was an everything you need to know about Instagram and becoming an Instagram influencer, growing your audience, and working with brands. With 3 pins, I made $3,000 because I created a gallery on the sales page, or I call it a landing page because it wasn't a traditional sales page. And I created a gallery that gave away the first 12 pages of the book. It had the title, the table of contents, the welcome page, and the first whole chapter. Now, here's the tip. Again, you're not trying to give away your secrets in this free content, but you're trying to give them a little bit. So, for example, my first chapter was about the Instagram algorithm, describing what it was, all of the different metrics, everything we knew and could be researched on for the algorithm. That was stuff that could already be found on the internet. However, I added my thoughts and my strategies on how we can take the information that we know from the Instagram algorithm and make it work for us instead of fighting it. So not only was I giving the audience a convenient way to view all of the information on the algorithm, but I was also giving them a little bit of information for free about how to use the algorithm to work for you. And then also, I was kind of showing them how I write. I have been a blogger long enough that I understand that my audience loves the way I write because I write like I talk. That's just something that they like. I have had so many people come to me and say, I can't believe how much information you gave away on your landing page. That was amazing. I purchased just because of that. And then I've also had other people come to me and say that they purchased just because they liked the way that I talked. They liked the way that I described things. I described things in a way that was easy to understand. Those are all little tiny consumer things that you may not remember or put into effect when you're creating this product. So make sure to really get into the mind of your audience and in the mind of your customer when you're creating the sales page, the landing page, and the product in general. So many times I see people creating landing pages for their products and not adding the price. You want to be upfront about your price with your audience. You want to make sure that they know exactly what it is upfront, honestly and authentically. Don't try to hide it. Don't get them to click on the checkout page so they can see the price. Just give it to them upfront and make sure that they know exactly what the investment is upfront and center.
Okay, hopefully this little snippet helped you figure out how you can be better selling your digital products using Pinterest. Be sure to join me next week when I'll be sharing some of my favorite email marketing guru, Kate Doster's best tips. I'll catch you then.